Morning.
Peter, I feel absolutely lousy. You'll have to forgive me if I snap. So take that smile off your face.
What smile?
Oh, I see you haven't even got a smile for me. I am perfectly capable of pulling out a chair and slumping into it.
Coffee. Coffee.
Are you a rubber ball?
No, darling, I don't think so.
You bounced out of bed, you bounced into the bathroom, you bounced downstairs. Even your toast bounces. Don't bounce, slink. Who dies on my windowsill without permission?
I'm not sure what they're called, but at least they're not shouting at me.
What's wrong with Radio 4?
You want these beams to ring with news of fire, flood, and by-election results?
At least they do it peacefully.
2 and 4 is 6. Divide by 2 for compromise. No, don't tax your brain. It equals Radio 3.
I am not eating my toast at 16 beats to a bar. Oh, take your eyes off me. I look rough.
No.
That's not what our bedroom mirror says. Mirror should be banned. If God had meant us to see ourselves as others do on a Monday morning, he'd have given us eyes on stalks.
I was thinking how good you looked, how bad you sounded.
It's this baby. It's all twaddle about eating for two, but not about sleeping for two. Oh, common market ministers have agreed on a formula for pre-stressed concrete to be made in a jar by local bees.
Papers are for day 3,000 of marriage, not day 3.
You're going to burn your stubble like the farmers do, or simply plough it back in. They're only pretending to be awake anyway.
I've made a resolution to be up and about at the crack of dawn.
Huh. You move to a nice, quiet house in the country, and what happens? You and the birds leap out of bed at 4 in the morning. They sing, hens cluck, bees buzz, cows low. And this particular cow is extremely low. And when I meet that vicar, I am going to lock him in our priest hole and phone Oliver Cromwell. Maybe he'll tell me why I'm so ratty. Oh. Why don't you just beat me over the head?
According to my baby book, it says
you mustn't. Do you believe everything you read? I know what you're doing. You're looking for grey hairs.
Round about page 230, it says that this is classic. It says you need dietary supplement and exercise.
They all warn against exercise. No rock climbing, limbo dancing, paragliding, horse riding.
I didn't actually see us dancing to work. But we could walk.
Oh, what a good idea.
And this will help to build up your strength.
That's the first thing I ever built on my own.
What? Hen houses?
Silly boy. Mrs. Bonner's garage. I designed it myself. Go on, criticize.
It's beautiful. You must be very, very, very proud of it. Well, look. We're not the only ones going mad.
Why did you bring me this way?
It's the only way.
To depress me. George and Mary Williams, together again at last.
May I say something?
Company credo.
Your leg is longer than mine. Can you take shorter steps?
First you make me walk, then you criticize me.
Helen, stop. Now. Left. Right. Right.
Military two-step. I thought dancing was out.
You smiled.
Is it wrong to kiss in a graveyard?
Well, George and Mary are together again.
I'll have to come closer. My lips aren't long enough.
there. See what we miss by being in the car. Flowers blooming, birds tweeting. Coaches thundering.
Peter, I don't mean to be such a crosspatch.
Which means you're about to become one.
Can't call a taxi. Or saddle that horse.
I think perhaps we ought to lean against this wall. Promise not to say a word until we reach the office. You've got a Volvo. You must have children.
Yes. But I've never seen it as a reason for throwing myself under a car.
My wife, she's about to have a baby.
Congratulations. To you both.
We're going to be late.
What she means is that if I don't get her somewhere soon, it may be too late.
Most pregnant women look pregnant. Have you ever noticed?
We've been told it's going to be a very long, thin baby. Do you mind taking us into town?
Hopping? Morning.
Good morning. I'm sorry I'm so feeble. And I'm sorry my husband is so scruffy.
Don't mention it. When's the baby due?
Soon. Very soon.
You'll be wanting the hospital then.
No. A clinic in Temple Square.
I see. You're going privately, yet you can't afford a car.
You may well be giving us a lift, but it doesn't entitle you to pry. What are you doing?
Wondering why someone who's only 18 weeks at the most is flapping.
It's ill. Every time I get a twin, she breaks into nursery rhymes and pants.
I don't suppose you could step on it a bit.
He's running out of lies. We were only married on Friday, and already I'm pregnant. It's due in November. Don't count up the months. They fall somewhat short of the norm.
We'll be there by November. I pass this way every day, you know, about the same time. Just throw yourself under the wheels and I'll stop. Take my cards in the glove compartment.
I'm Peter Morgan.
Helen.
Take mine.
You?
This is my wife, Helen.
How do you do?
How do you do?
Oh, this is Mr. Houston, sweetheart.
What line are you in, Mr. Houston? Oh, you're a gynecologist. Must be very interesting work.
It gets more fascinating by the day.
Thank you.
And you, young woman, should spend 2 hours a day on your backside with your feet up.
I wonder if everyone heard that. Would you care to bellow it again?
The textbook says a little exercise is very important.
The hell with the books. See your doctor. Or flag me down anytime.
Well, you can catch a lift off someone already.
I did it for her, Jane. I swear I did.
He picks a man who's delivered more babies than I've laid bricks. He lies to him, he humiliates me, he tells him I'm about to give birth, and then this man starts giving me advice. So how are you, Jane?
Fine. Puzzled, but fine.
Fine, are you? Then why did this place look like a pigsty? Honestly, I leave it for 3 days and it just collapses round my ears.
Well, for 3 of those 3 days, the office was closed, Mrs. Morgan.
Walker. Oh, you got it right.
Morning, Jane.
Don't hang that on my coat hooks. People come into this office, you know.
I wonder, is it possible to cut one's throat on an electric razor?
Worth a try.
Thank you very much, but I remembered this morning.
Better take your mail as well.
Me, mail?
A woman's hand, if ever I saw it.
Jane, when you steam open a letter in a window envelope, do be careful to make sure that when you stick it back, the address is still showing. It's really my mail.
Well, go and design a brick wall and run at it.
Mrs. Morgan, can I still speak to him as I used to? I mean, I know you can't because you have to live with it.
Certainly, Jane. Nothing's changed because we've done a silly thing like getting married.
You're late.
No, Jane. You're late, Mr. Morgan.
It isn't him, Jane, it's me.
Well, he doesn't have to know it's you.
Oh, trust you to take the man's part. You agree with me that it isn't him, it is me.
I think today I'll agree with whatever you say, Mrs. Morgan.
Who wrote to him?
Oh, that dolly bird from the planning department. I've done a card on a file for her.
What's she say?
What pretty houses there'll be on the Ascot field. Anything I can do to help, don't hesitate to let me know.
Well, how nice to know he's got an admirer.
Oh, you've got one in the office. I don't get too excited. He's 2 words, nervous and breakdown.
Did he give his name?
Tried to, couldn't spit it out.
Dr. Valentine. What on earth does he want?
Ah, Mrs. Walker.
Morgan, Dr. Valentine.
Ah, Sie sprechen Deutsch. Guten Morgen, Frau Walker.
Let us get onto the same wavelength in one fell swoop. I have married a man named Morgan.
Really?
Yes, really. It's hardly a thing you pretend to do. Are you here drumming up business or because I'm not well?
No, you're just fine.
No, I am not. I am tired, morose, depressed, lethargic, fed up and irritable.
But not at a loss for words.
Forgive me.
You could do with more rest.
I'll take your advice.
It should be still warm because I've been sitting on it. Now, why am I here? Don't worry, it'll come to me.
To drop a brick?
Bricks. Ah, you build things. Houses. I would like to buy a house, Mrs. Morgan. It suits you, the name. Anyway, I'd like to buy a house.
You don't need my permission for that, Dr. Valentine.
No, you're right as ever. You're building some houses on the Ascot field. They look lovely.
Well, there's only foundations there at the moment, but yes, they are lovely foundations.
How much will they be?
95,000.
Now, let me just get this clear in my mind. 95,000 pounds? I only ask because we've gone metric. Right. Damn it.
You've got 3 boys, yes?
Yes. Wyatt, William and Edward. My wife, of course, sleeps in the same room as me.
My flat's for sale. I think you'd all fit in.
How much?
62.
Oh, that sounds very Oh. Damn it. Mrs. Morgan, you've nodded off. I know I'm boring, but...
Oh, what are you doing here?
Like me to run the old hands over you?
Yes, I think you'd better.
Oh, excuse me. Hello? Oh, it's for you. Oh, well, it would be. I mean, it might be for me, but it isn't. I'm on a bleep.
Hello,
Who was that?
Dr. Valentine.
Yes?
No, I'm just saying. It is you here, isn't it?
Well, of course it is.
Don't worry, darling. He's just unbuttoning my shirt.
I say, he does know that I'm a doctor of medicine, doesn't he?
No.
I could be anybody.
I love you. In spite of everything, I love you.
And I love you. Really, I do.
Mrs. Morgan, before you say anything else that you might regret, let me explain something to you. Hormonal disturbances sometimes throw the emotion off kilter. You don't love me at all. Are you listening?
He says I don't love him at all. It's my husband.
Yes, I'd like to meet him sometime, but please don't tell him things. They can get very touchy.
Oh, he'll understand. You'll understand, won't you, darling?
Yes, of course.
Oh, you think so? What do you think this is?
Medically speaking, it's a nose.
Which has been broken by a man who thought his wife was in love with me.
You mean he just strode in and punched you on the bracket?
No, I tricked as I was running away from him.
An irate husband thought his fickle wife was in love with him, so he broke his nose.
That's right, put ideas into his head.
Oh, has he got one of those things for listening to babies' heartbeats?
Oh, I'll ask. Have you got a fetal heart detector?
Oh, you know me, Mrs. Morgan, prepared for anything.
Well, can my husband listen to it?
I don't see any reason why not. Now, you, put that there next to where the baby is, and I'll just, may I? Hello, Mr. Morgan?
Yes, hello.
This is Dr. Valentine here, MD, Westminster, and your wife does not love me. Now, I'm going to put this instrument next to the receiver, and I'd like you to just...
I'll just pop in.
Well, I've got a very busy day. I can't hang around.
I'm in the next office.
Ah, good Lord. Did you know that he was in the next office?
Yes, we're very close.
Oh. What sort of chap is your husband, Mrs. Morgan? I only ask out of a passing interest.
Hi.
I haven't checked yet.
Oh, Dr. Valentine, Peter Morgan.
Oh, great pleasure. Could you ask your father to step in now, please?
He's in Birmingham.
Oh.
Somebody had to say it one day.
But why fate always chooses me, I'll never know. Right. Where were we? Houses, heartbeats. Right. The miracle of nature.
Why is it going so quickly?
It isn't.
Listen, I was in the Scouts, mate. 72 beats a minute.
This isn't a scout, nor is it a guide, by the way.
So why is it going so quickly?
Because it's very small.
Well, so am I.
Your baby's heart is no bigger than a sunflower seed. You think about that. Why are you looking at my nose? My eyes against hitting it, there's a steel nut and bolt right through the bridge. Go, Ten. Right. Mrs. Morgan, please roll up your sleeve.
Are we going to fight?
Dr. Valentine, I don't think Helen would mind me saying that she's been very irritable in the last 24 hours.
Well, so have I.
Well, so have I, come to that, but usually she's calm, placid.
What form does this irritability take?
Do you both mind? I feel like a bullock going through quality control.
That sort of thing, eh? Yeah. Well, there's something you'll both have to live with, I'm afraid. And now I'd like to ask you both something. Basically, it's to do with what the hell is your blood pressure doing up that high? Answers? Oh, I see. You're surprised that I've got a temper, let alone one that I can lose. Well, let me tell you something, Mrs. Morgan. Inside every mouse, there is a hamster trying to get out. What have you been doing? What have you been letting her do?
Nothing.
Don't lie to me. I'm a doctor.
No, nothing. We got married on Friday. We moved house on Saturday.
Nothing, huh? Well, please don't take it amiss if I call you both fools, medically. Does that sound rude?
Not at all, but I know it was meant to.
In a girl of 20, I would expect some madness, but in a woman of 41, sense. Now, I'm going to have to be sharp here. Stress, overdoing it, tiredness, they are now things of the past. And that doesn't sound rude, does it? Anyway, do not move a muscle for at least 2 hours. I'll look in again this evening.
Oh, Dr. Valentine, I don't suppose you could give me a lift to the Ascot field, could you?
In my car?
In it, or tie him to the bumper and drag him along like a cowboy.
Now, please don't use that word in here.
Remember, Mrs. Morgan, not a muscle. After you.
Oh, thanks.
So unlike the human body. So peaceful, so quiet.
Well, it shouldn't be. Thanks very much for the lift. Oh, and thanks for shouting at the wife.
My pleasure. Is all this yours?
Hers.
So much to be done. If you love her, you'll make sure she takes things easy. I assume you do love her, of course.
Just a bit. My name's Peter, by the way.
Richard.
She's not in any danger, is she?
Not if she sticks to the rules, no.
Well, that's where it becomes tricky. You see, if I leave her at home, she'll knock down walls, hang doors, and dig up the garden.
And worry.
And if I take him to the office, she'll knock down people, hang the workforce, and dig graves for the clients.
You need someone tough around, someone she's afraid of.
And Genghis Khan is dead.
Yeah. Well, I must be off. I'm tramping the estate agents today, talking of blood pressure.
Try Tony Hartshorn. Mention my name. It won't do you any good, but you can mention my name.
And I'll see you tonight.
Yes. Strangely enough, I'm looking forward to that.
How do, my lord? So you've got your own chauffeur now, then? Stand still while I fill in that furrowed brow with some sand and cement.
Shut up, Tom. Where's Arthur?
Come for the governor.
Oh, he won't find her. Right, you lot, what the bloody hell do you think you're doing? I said, what the bloody hell do you think?
Forget it, Pete. At the gaffer, they're frightened. Have you?
On top of everything else, we've got a mole.
Spilly.
What's he doing? Reliving World War I? Why is it that everyone in my life is asleep today?
Your problem's over there, mate.
That's Jack Barker. He's a pushover.
It's not a Jack Barker, Toad from Building Regs Department. Quibbling about footings, quibbling about septic tanks and prevailing winds.
Oh, is he?
He wants us to dig 'em all up so we can poke his steel rule down, see there's nothing wrong and fill 'em all in again.
Over my dead body? I must stop saying things like that.
Morning, Jack. How are you?
I'm hurt.
Where, mate?
Deep down. Inside. I thought we understood each other.
Come on, you're chewing a brick. Spit it out.
It's ethics. I see you didn't bring the Jaguar in. So you're driving around in it yesterday, all of a sudden.
It's Helen's. I preferred my Beetle until it blew its brains out.
Of course you did. It'll all have to come up, Peter, so as I can measure.
Well then, wait there.
Now, I tell you what, you just put your feet up on this for a minute.
Do you think he'll ever manage without me?
Peter?
To run the business on his own? No, of course you don't.
Well, matter of fact, I do. Leastways, Millie does. And what she thinks, I tend to think as well. He's got a good head on him. The blokes like him. He's fair. He's also heading this way. Good God above, he looks as bad-tempered as you do sometimes.
Have you got something casual on you, like a copy of Vogue? Well, or at least...
Got some sandpaper. It's for Millie's sandwiches.
Well, give it to me quickly. Just look at me relaxing.
What are you doing here?
Filing my nails.
I see. And you've just remembered that Arthur's a trained manicurist. Take her home.
No. No, we'll all go home just as soon as you've ruined Mr. Barker's day. Now, have you told him he's a disgusting, broken-veined nitpicker yet?
Not in so many words.
Well, have you invited him in here so I can tell him?
Helen, there's only one thing that pig will respond to, and that's a 6-inch nail driven straight through his head.
Oh, don't let's waste nails, darling. I know where you've made a mistake. You lost your temper. There really is no need. Now, may I make a suggestion? Yes, I know that shocks you. May I, instead of get out there and do as I tell you?
Suggest.
Go and whisper the word money in his ear.
Money.
What on earth has sandpaper got to do with Millie's sandwiches?
They blunt me teeth. I use the sandpaper to put the edge back on them.
Sharpen your teeth.
Well, only me work teeth, not me best.
You and my father must have made a right pair. All set.
Big John's were wonderful. Mind you, he could afford the best.
I'm surprised he didn't leave them to you in his will. Do you remember his favourite trick?
Which one?
The one with the radish, when he used to put it on his bottom row and bang the top of his head. Clean and hard. Oh, come in, Mr. Barker. We were just talking about something like you. Short, red and round, yet so easily cut in half.
Your young man here said you wanted to see me.
No, he didn't. He whispered the word money to you. Mr. Barker, why have you got an omelette strapped to your head? Oh, it's your crash helmet. No, don't take it off. You may need it. Now tell me, how much will it cost not to dig up those foundations?
A ton of the green stuff.
Arthur, will you and Tommy go down to the library, please?
We're not great readers, Mrs. Walker.
Take a spade with you and dig a hole.
What, inside?
No, in the rose bed, just outside romantic novels. You won't have to dig very far. The footings there are only 12 inches deep. And that cost Mr. Arkwright £50, payable to Mr. Barker's blind eye. Now, how much do you think that makes our little problem worth? About 10p?
Well, now, I didn't think backhanders was in your line, Mrs. Walker.
Oh, with the back of this very hand, I deliver the most fetching thick-ear. Just think what I could do with yonder pickaxe handle.
Rob a bank? Mind you, you've been robbing people for years.
Oh, I see. Envy. I'm not saying you covet my husband's wife, Mr. Barker, but you do covet his good fortune in being able to drive round in a proper car, for example, instead of perching like a lemon on a moped. Mind you, I'm pleased to see you take adequate precautions. Do you mind about stains on your Kickstarter? Did I raise my voice?
Good girl. From now on, though, I'll do the shouting, if I can. Right. Tom, Billy, everyone, back to work.
Oh, come on, Pete. It's only a quarter of an hour to dinner time.
I'll tell the governor.
Jane, Arthur says that Millie says that Peter could run this business on his own.
No.
And I know he could, with a little support from his friends and a lot from me. So, what do you say?
I agree with Peter, no.
I'll raise your salary, of course. Danger money. Call us a taxi, will you?
Jane, does Millie Poole remind you of anyone?
Yes, Genghis Khan.
I think she's just what I'm looking for.
Good luck.
Oh, don't bother about the taxi. We're going by bus.
Bus?
We'll take a car any longer. I want to be along in a minute.
Was it a boy or a girl? Can I drop you anywhere?
Oh, you poor gynecologist. Do you fancy having to run a taxi service on the side?
You've got to sit in the front, darling.
No, the bottle sits in the back.
But then we'll both sit in the back.
Why don't you just get in, then climb about as we go? Women can be very stubborn about rest, you know.
Really?
And your young lady looks especially tough to deal with. It's the jaw. It juts. Nice-looking girl. Awkward, I'd say.
Yes. In a minute, she'll kill you.
I don't think so.
It's all this resting. Worn her out.
Poor soul. What is she? 45?
She must be asleep. 41.
Where do you live?
Church Farm. My jaw doesn't jut.